This is section 11.4% yield. In this video, we'll be going over problem number 1. So this brings us basically to the conclusion of chapter 11. And the last part is just the percent yield. And basically it's as it says, main idea, it's a measure of the efficiency of a chemical reaction, how well you did. It's kind of like, think of it in terms of a test. You know how many points are possible on a test and how many points you earn, and then you turn that into, out of 100%, you can figure out, okay, I got 95% correct, or I got 85% correct, or I got 105% correct if there was an extra credit. So really, just figuring out the efficiency is what we're doing here, and it's along the same line. And what you got to remember is it's just all about how much product you get. Laboratory reactions don't always produce a calculated amount of product. Something goes wrong, something doesn't react all the way. You have bad laboratory procedure and you lose something, or your scale is not as accurate as it needs to be. And some of it is stuff you can't control. Reactants stick to containers. Amazingly enough, in the laboratory, when we would go through, we would be tested once a quarter, and they would send us, something, and they would say, okay, find out how much stuff is in this chemical. How much of this chemical is present, and it was amazing sometimes. If you had 50% recovery, in other words, if you just got within 50% of the actual value of the number, you would be fine. And you never wanted to get that low, but that was acceptable that you had 50% recovery. That would be like saying, hey, you get 50% on the test and you're fine. You've passed the class. Anyways, so we have what's called theoretical yield. So like everything we've been doing up to this point, and we've said how much product is formed, and we go through the stoichiometry to say how much product is formed. Every time we do that, that's theoretical yield. In theory, if I run this reaction with this much reagents, theoretically, I should get this much product out of it. And that's called theoretical yield. Then if I walk into the laboratory and I actually run the reaction, I may not get that, and that's what my actual yield is. And so then what I do is I go for what's called a percent yield. Think of this as essentially what this is your grade on a test, because this is what you earn, and this is the possible points. So stop and think about this. Let's say there are 50 points on a test, and let's say that you get 43. So you say 43 divided by 50 multiplied by 100, you got 80%, 86% on a test. This would be your percent yield. That's your grade. This is what you earned on the test. That's your actual yield. This is your theoretically yield. In theory, you should answer all the questions and get 100% on the test, but it doesn't always work that way. And so that is what this is here, and this is how this works out.